Welcome to my stream, where knowledge reigns supreme. Calm and collected,
Pixelbot says.
I'm about to go
Welcome.
live, you know
Stream
what I
starts in
mean.
5 minutes.
Got high expectations, gonna teach you something new. Learning, hacking, exploring, there's so much we can do. Feel the excitement as we dive into uncharted lands. New discoveries await in this digital wonderland. Together we'll unravel the secrets, unlock the code. No limits, no boundaries, no knowledge will explode. Welcome to my stream, where the fire of knowledge burns bright. Chat with me, let's embark on this journey of delight. From the basics to superpowers, we'll learn and grow in this stream of knowledge. Together we'll grow.
T-minus 4 minutes.
Welcome to my stream, where knowledge reigns supreme. Calm and collected, I'm about to go live, you know what I mean. Got high expectations, gonna teach you something new. Learning, hacking, exploring, there's so much we can do. Feel the excitement as we dive into uncharted lands. New discoveries await in this digital wonderland. Together we'll unravel the secrets, unlock the code. No limits, no boundaries, no knowledge will explode. Welcome to my stream, where the fire of knowledge burns bright. Chat with me, let's embark on this journey of delight. From the basics to superpowers, we'll learn and grow in this stream of knowledge. Together we'll grow. Welcome to my stream, where knowledge reigns supreme. Calm and collected, I'm about to go live, you know what I mean. Got high
Stream about to start. 1 minute
expectations, gonna teach you something new. Learning, hacking, exploring, there's so much we can do. Feel the excitement as we dive into uncharted lands. New discoveries await in this digital wonderland. Together we'll unravel the secrets, unlock the code. No limits, no boundaries, no knowledge will explode. Welcome to my stream, where the fire
Good morning, welcome in. So today we have another Advent of Cyber. So as they come out at 17, I'm doing them one day after. So let's see here. So this is just the second red one. So we'll see if we get more and more of them, right? So there. It's just to get started reading, right? I'm kind of thinking there's not as much reading as yesterday, at least, right? We had quite a lot yesterday. So, Day 10. He had a brain full of macros and had shells in his soul. The story. Mayor Malware had just one Suckmas wish. The Suck organizer would fail for his fish. Well, on top of this, he wanted as well, once the email opened, to gain a row shell. Mayor Malware attempts to fish one of the Suckmas organizers by sending a document embedded with the malicious macro. Once opened, the macro will execute, giving Mayor remote access to the organizer's system. So, it's phishing. Funny image this time, right? Fun. Martha May Ware is surprised that her system was compromised after following tight security, but McSkitty thinks she traced the attacker, and he got in. It's none other than Mayor Malware who got into the system. This time, the mayor used phishing to get his victim. McSkitty's quick incident response prevented significant damage. In this case, you will run a security assessment against Martha May Ware. The purpose would be to improve her security and raise her cyber security awareness against future attacks. Glitch is still concerned about any future attack on Martha May Ware and advises McSkitty to run a phishing exercise on her to verify whether she's vigilant about these attacks. So, learning objectives. Understand how phishing attacks work. Discover how macros in documents can be used and abused. Learn how to carry out a phishing attack with a macro. Phishing attacks. Security is as strong as the weakest link. Many would argue that humans are the weakest link in the security chain. It's easier to exploit a patch system behind a firewall, or is it easier? Or to convince a user to open an important document. Hence, human hacking is usually the easiest to accomplish and falls under social engineering. Phishing is a play on the word fishing. However, the attacker is not after seafood. Phishing works by sending a bait to a usually large group of target users. Furthermore, the attacker often crafts their message with a sense of urgency, prompting target users to take immediate action without thinking critically, increasing the chances of success. The purpose is to steal personal information or install malware, usually by convincing the target user to fill out a form, open a file, or click a link. One might get an email out of nowhere claiming that they are being charged a hefty sum, and that they can check the details in the attached file or URL. The attacker just needs to have their target users open the malicious file or view the malicious link. This can trigger specific actions that would give the attacker control over your system. Macros. So, this is what we'll do, I'm assuming. The needs of Microsoft Office users can be vastly different, and there's no way that a default installation would cater to all of these needs. In particular, some users find themselves repeating the same tasks, such as formatting or inserting text or performing calculations. Consider the example of number to words conversion, where a number such as 1337 needs to be expressed as 1337. It would take hours to finish if you have hundreds of numbers to convert. Hence, there is a need for an automated solution to save time and reduce manual effort. In computing, a macro refers to a set of programmed instructions designed to automate repetitive tasks. MS Word, among other MS Office products, supports adding macros to documents. In many cases, these macros can be a tremendous time-saving feature. However, in cybersecurity, these automated programs can be hijacked for malicious purposes. To add a macro, I'm thinking more like the functionality can be hijacked, right? To add a macro to an MS Word document, for instance, we click on the View menu and then select Macros, as pointed out by 1 and 2. In the screenshot below, we will specify the name of the macro and specify that we want to save it in our current document, as indicated by 3 and 4. Finally, we press the Create button. Let's explore one way an attacker could create a MS Word document with an embedded macro to gain access to Marta's system. Attack plan.
Toolrago says, "Hi, have a good streams."
Thank you. So, good morning or good night? I don't know what time you're in. So, for me it's morning. Well, I guess 9:47 morning-ish, right? So let's see what their attack plan is, or rather, Mayor Malware, right? In his plans, Mayor Malware needs to create a document with a malicious macro. Upon opening the document, the macro will execute a payload.
Morning time from Turkey.
Ah, nice. Yeah, so it's starting to close up to real Christmas, yeah? So we're already at the 11th. Time's just flying by. Time to get some Christmas presents, really. You need to create a document with a malicious macro. Upon opening the document, the macro will execute a payload and connect to the mayor's machine, giving remote control. Consequently, the mayor needs to ensure that he's listening for incoming connections on his machine before emailing the malicious document.
Can I ask for one career advice?
Yeah, sure, but I'm not working in this area yet, so... But feel free to ask anything I can help with, I will. So, he needs to open it for listen to connection before emailing, or it wouldn't receive the connection back, right? By executing the macro, the mayor gains remote access to Marta's system through a reverse shell, allowing him to execute commands and control her machine remotely. The steps are as follows. Create a document with a malicious macro. Start listening for incoming connections on the attacker's system. Email the document and wait for the target user to open it. The target user opens the document and connects to the attacker system, and then control the target user's system. I guess receives a connection there. You might wonder why you don't set the malicious macro so that you can control the target system directly instead of the other way around. The reason is that the target system is behind a firewall or has a private IP address. You cannot reach it, and hence you cannot connect to it. So, what do we need today? I'm very happy to see there's no split screen available. We need the VM, and we need our Kali machine. So, I think I didn't even start it because the last few days we didn't need it, right? So, any questions? You're free to ask. So I've been working in IT for a lot of years.
I will start to the AI Engineer Master Program at Germany next semester. I've experience about
cool.
backend development and I want to make AI projects related with cybersecurity. Do you have any suggestions about my case?
It sounds very cool. So, do you mean about looking for work already? So you could, of course, always try and work at the same time, but if you're starting a master program in AI engineering, that sounds very cool, right? Yeah, so I don't have any suggestion. Well, if you're not already on LinkedIn, get started there, right? So you start connecting with people that have similar, like, areas of expertise, I guess, that you're aiming for. You can also check what they're doing, what they're working with, you know, what's the current thing, right? Oh no, I started the wrong VM, so we'll have some time here because this is a Windows one. This is one that Anti-Siphon uses. If I start a Kali one at the same time, let's close this one down first.
Yes, I have. Weblink.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you're already getting started. Let's see, we can always connect to, right? I have my LinkedIn in the bottom. I'm waiting for the Windows VM to start. Yeah, there I see you. Hello. It's always nice to see an image of people. So if anyone has anything here, so yeah, that's nice. So let's connect. Oh, you already sent one. I'm accepting here. So, and you have a lot of connections already. So I'm sure you got a lot of good connections in what you're interested in. So yeah. So AI and cybersecurity is a very interesting area now. So this computer is very slow to start. So let's start Kali at the same time and hope the stream doesn't crash. I'll just wait for it, right?
And thanks for accepting.
Yeah, and one person that I know is very good at AI hacking is Gar. So it's a streamer here on Twitch that's called Gar7. So that could always be an interesting angle too, right? So let's see. I was already in there. And let's hop over to Twitch. Time to log into Kali at the same time here. So let's just go to Gar. is Gar7, but there's an underscore too. So this is Gar's channel. I would suggest following him and hope that he's online soon. So hacking, but his focus right now is hacking AI stuff. At least what I heard. So he's very good. Real good at
I can only
just
see the
general.
Kali screen.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's Gar_7, but let's reopen the tab. I'm sorry. I realized I did that the other day too, because I was highlighting another stream I had. This channel here. So let's of course give Gar a shout out, right? So we'll see if there you have it. So join us in following Gar7. Yeah, he's very good at hacking generally. Web apps, I guess, are his focus, but now AI stuff. So
Thank you so much.
yeah. Let's go back to that. Drag me page there. So I'm just gonna start the VPN. You might as well see what I do. It's not like it's secret here. So come on, when I click there, I want the Kali line, not the Windows one. Oh, let's hop to another one, and yeah, so it's ready. We'll see. So let's click the Start Machine button, and I'm kind of thinking we will need.
Do you have any suggestion for project idea about AI in cybersecurity area?
In the AI stuff. So I'm not that good at AI. That's the thing. So I use, of course, ChatGPT and others, but I haven't really thought of projects in that area. You could always ask ChatGPT for some suggestions for projects. Right? But if you want something really original, I guess you shouldn't. So AI is really interesting, but it's also not perfect yet, at least, right? It's not really AI the way we used to, what we used to mean with it. I'm thinking let's check if the Windows machine is still not started. So this is so slow. I want to get rid of this before we get started for real. But I guess I don't have time to. So let's continue with the room. So if I just think quickly, AI projects in cybersecurity. Of course, it depends on what do you mean with AI projects. Do you mean you intend to build your own AI with a certain purpose, for example? It could be what
I'm
would
worrying
be
about how much I should
mostly
have knowledge in cybersecurity area for doing my projects.
okay. So I think the most thing people are worried about AI is it if you give it
classification deep learning
information.
projects.
Yeah, so if data is leaked by AI, but people also worry about if you just jump outside of that, that AI will be smarter than humans in finding ways to like attack systems, and what people really are asking for in AI, I think, is coming up with quick defenses against attacks. So, like finding new ways to quickly see what's an attack and what's not an attack. And I think that's where you would really, if you found cool solutions there, that would be money. So finally the machine started, so we can turn it off again here. This is kind of nice VM. If it ever reacts to me clicking a million times on the screen. So let's have this done before we get started again with the room. So I guess AI is a very wide area, but you could just think about cybersecurity. There's this CIA triad where which angles you can think of data and stuff, right? So there's rooms on TryHackMe, for example. Before, I'll have to just log into this. ADHD is the password. Then we can. It doesn't even start it. So let's do this meanwhile. So we can open a new tab. So I'm thinking search. And
This
so
my seat says, Advent of Cyber, not Advent of Code.
yeah, Advent of
Colorado
Cyber.
says,
But I've been
BBW,
doing a bit
your
of
camera is
code too.
frozen.
Oh, my camera's frozen. Yeah, that's probably because I started 2 VMs, right? It could also have crashed the stream totally, so I guess I'm not sad. So you can get started with the basic stuff in TryHackMe. I think they're all free rooms. Thank you for telling me about the camera, by the way. I'll fix it.
Fixerbot says,
New follower Tolrago. Less than 3.
So it's so slow, this Windows VM. I'm just hoping still it won't kill stream. Maybe we should just kill VM instead. So I just wanted to, if I could click the close here. Yeah. So it's really slow, but we finally have the start menu. It's still doing its loading scripts. Oh, whoa. Yeah, so that getting a new computer, it's getting more and more urgent. And I actually have also here data about memory for this one, but this just made me realize how old this one is. I don't think we even could put 32 gig DIMMs in here. So the most it seems to be able to handle is it says 128 gigs. This is the only line in the whole thing, but it says ace times, and I only have 4 slots for RAM, so that's not possible. I currently have 32. So now we can hop over to the Kali VM here. The other one is closed down, and hopefully my camera will wake up. It didn't start automatically, so I'm restarting it physically now. So they're off. So I'm doing the Advent of Code sometimes when I'm waiting for my kid at his school, but this is Advent of Cyber. Yeah, so it is, let's say, more cybersecurity related. It's also more of a tutorial. Advent of Code is more of challenges that you learn by exploring. So you have these for your AI data, what to think about, to weigh between usability and the availability there, and that is you still need to have the data's integrity and that if it's confidential. So there are lots of basic info like that. So maybe you could do some of these basic rooms. And if you go to their learn here, you have this basic pre-security and then the cybersecurity 101. And then if you're not really going into security but just want a bit of a grip on it, this is probably enough. But if you want to continue, I'm sure there's AI stuff in here too. So let's just search for AI too. I need to keep track of time. We have a lot of time left, no problem. So I'm driving my kid to school, but not until like 12:30ish. So AI. Yeah, so last year there were also stuff on AI, but I don't think it was very good. So obviously this was not a good search because we got 47 pages with 12 rooms. So you'd have to find something else to search on, because AI is mentioned everywhere now, right? So I'm going to hop back to the room. So yeah, thinking of getting more memory for this, but then I realized how old it is, so we'll see. Better to get a new computer, probably more economical. So we started the machine. So we're not using the attack box, but my Kali VM. Attack box machine with split screen. On the attack box, you need to do 2 steps. Create a document. Yeah, with an embedded malicious macro. So I thought we were to do this on the machine we connect to. But maybe we do need the attack box for this. That would be so sad when I just waited for it, right? But let's see, do we even have an IP yet? We do, but it didn't update here. It still says machine IP in the text. Connection IP. Oh, okay. Because it usually updates with the IP. So I really don't like using the attack box, but I guess we will click this and see where it leads, and we'll see if we can do stuff on ours or we have to use the attack box. This is also not a nice way to read stuff. Right, I was thinking, I usually zoom this so it's easier to read on stream if you're on your phone or whatever, but yesterday we had a split screen where I zoomed down to 100%, so that's why it's so tiny. So we need to be able to create a macro. And I'm assuming they have stuff prepared on the attack box for this. But we can just, as soon as this is started, we can open it in full screen and hop it to the other screen so we can read better too. So, on the attack box, you need to carry out 2 steps. Create a document with an embedded malicious macro. Listen for incoming connections. So, we could always listen for incoming connections on our machine at least. Not that it matters. Creating the malicious document. The first step would be to embed a malicious macro within the document. Alternatively, you can use Metasploit framework to create such a document. This will spare us the need for a system with MS Office. Yeah, so maybe we can do. So we're starting this for nothing, maybe. We'll see. So that's why I was thinking, yeah, maybe I should start it just to save time and we won't need it. Should have read a few extra lines here. Because this is also a possibly MS Office free version. Yeah, MSF console. Created a macro enabled document. Yeah, it's just using MSF console. I'm just checking what we'll need. The attack box doesn't have MS Office installed, so this section is only for read along, meaning this is not, we didn't need this because it doesn't have MS Office either, just as our machine. Yeah, let's just in case, so we don't have to redo this, let's keep it open in the background there, and minus this one. So we're back to the way it looked. I'm so sorry for the mess. But I don't read these ahead, you know. I'm just going along with whatever happens. So now, might be able to read this on the phone, right? That's what I'm going for. Creating the malicious document. The first step would be to embed a malicious macro within the document. Alternatively, you can use the Metasploit framework to create such a document, as this would spare us the need for a system with MS Office. And I don't have a system with MS Office. You will use the Metasploit framework to create the document with a malicious macro. The rest requires the following commands. Open a new terminal. So we already have, but not on our Kali machine, right? So let's just run it. So we're actually doing MSF console this time. I'm thinking MSF Venom, right? So let's read while it's loading. Set payload, Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP. Specify the payload to use. In this case, it connects to the specified host and creates a reverse shell. Use exploit multi-file format Office Word macro.
Toolrago says, thanks for advice. I was thinking to start from this video list, web link.
Okay, sure. Let's click that. So, course introduction, pen testing. Okay, yeah, this is probably a good introduction. I haven't looked at anything. It's also 5 years old, so you might want to look at a newer one since you're thinking of AI stuff, right? So I don't think anything 5 years old would look at AI. But if you're just thinking generally, I think the same people probably have a newer one. Yeah. there's probably better stuff on YouTube that's more updated. So check the age a bit, but the basics will probably be the same. So our MSF console has started. So let's actually copy these lines. I've typed these before, so I don't need to practice them. So, and use.
Okay, I will check. Thanks for all.
Yeah, sure. Oh, you're welcome. This specifies the exploit you want to use. Technically speaking, this is not an exploit. This is a module to create a document with a macro. So this is what we want then. Because I was thinking, why MSF console? But MSF venue, you can only select one thing, right? You can't do this. This is interesting. We'll probably get a file from this, which I didn't know this. I always love when I get to learn new things, especially things we could use. So this is perfect. Then we have the options. So let's set lhost and the IP address of the attacker system. They have filled in the attack box IP, but we're going to use our IP instead here, because they think we're going to use the attack box. So 10.21.31.111, that's the IP that we have on TryHackMe's VPN. So there, and then we do set the port. So the port number you're going to listen to, and they're using 8888, and we'll just do 443, but we have to do set L port, and I think L port is not case sensitive too. Then we show the options to see if we have set everything we need. And we get some more information also. So, custom template, user share Metasploit framework, data, exploits Office Word macro, template docx. A docx file that will be used as a template to build up the exploit. So, that's interesting. We have the template here if we wanted to modify it ourselves. File name, FSM. MSF.docm, office document macro file docm. Okay, payload options, exit func, exit technique accepted, thread process known. So these are the options that we could possibly have, and it's a thread here. So it's already set for us, we don't have to set it, and then we set these. No handler will be created, which is nice, because I think it will just create a file, right? So exploit target, Microsoft Office Word on Windows. So let's see what else it says. Exploit generates a macro and embeds it in a document. So it will now generate with our information, right? So the point of this is it will put these reverse shell, reverse TCP, Meterpreter. Right, we selected that. I don't like Meterpreter, but okay. Let's follow along, right? So I will probably do this with a normal one later, just to have it done, right? Have finished files ready to use. But otherwise we need probably to change the IP depending on if it's on different thingies. So I mean, what IP address we have. Let's just do it. Let's do run or exploit. Using template user share Metasploit framework data exploits Office Word macro template docx, injecting payload in document comments, injecting macro and other required files in document, finalizing docum, msf.docum. msf.docum is stored at home Kali.msf4 local msf4 docum. So this path here is kind of interesting for us now then. So let's just copy this bit. msf4 local, right? This is the path. So let's open a new one and cd to this. And let's look here. There's our file. So I knew of a tool to look at these files, but I don't remember it. So I'm really hoping that we'll do it again here, or I'll have to Google later, because I want that tool in my notes. I don't know why I didn't put it in the notes when I had it. So in the terminal below you can see the execution. So we already did it ourselves. They're just exiting it here afterwards. As you can see, the Word document with embedded macro has been created in the created macro enabled document. We mentioned earlier how to create a macro within an MS Word document. You might be interested to see the content of the file created by MSF Console. In the screenshot below, we can see the different procedures and functions that make up the macro. Note that attack bots don't have MS Office installed, so this section you only have to read along. Meaning we can't do it ourselves if we don't have MS Office. Auto open triggers the macro automatically when a Word document is opened. It searches through the document's properties looking for the content in the comments field. The data saved using base64 encoding in the comments field is actually the payload. So we have sub auto open. Oh, so long since I read this. On error resume next, dim found value string for each prop in active document built-in document properties. If prop name is comments, then we get data, we base64 decode it, and if Mac, execute for OS, else execute for Windows. So there's functions here, OS X, I mean. So it's checking if it's Mac. And then they have the execute for Windows one. Create a scripting file system object. So many years I worked with this. So get folder. Put together a file name. Create text file. Write it. Close it. Create object, vscript shell, run it, and OS X is a echo code and Python app. Okay. Okay, so the base64 decode was not in there instead either, but it's actually a function that they have created also in the macro from Metasploit framework. So base64 decode converts a payload to its original form. In this case, it is an executable MS Windows file. Execute for Windows, execute the payload in a temporary directory. It connects to the specified attacker system IP address and port. So we still haven't seen the actual code for the exploit as it's in the comments, loaded from there. The command field is shown in the screenshot below. This is close to 100,000 characters in our case, so we won't be able to see it and decode it ourselves. We don't need to, right? We can always look in our document. If you copy it and save it to a text file, you can convert it to its original executable format using base64 as shown below. So you just send it into the payload exe. And we could also do the reverse. Base64 our encode an exe payload and put it into the comments and use their script to get it into the macro. Just put it in the comments, right? So we could just put anything in there if we wanted. You already expect this file to connect to the specified IP and port. If you would like to check its behavior in the sandbox, you can check this virus total report for a file that we created and uploaded. In this case, it attempts to connect to 10.9.18.120. So, process is created, payload exe, and shell commands, payload exe, process 3, payload exe. Highlighted actions, and here we can see that a Metasploit connect and something called Rosino connect to the port in IP. So we'll have to start listener, and since it's MetaPrayer, it needs to be in MSF, so I don't know why they exited it before, but we didn't. We will again use the Metasploit framework, but this time to listen for incoming connection when a target user opens phishing Word document. This requires the following commands. Open a new terminal window and run MSF console to start Metasploit framework. Use multi-handler to handle incoming connections. So let's hop over to our other tab here, and let's instead use multi-handler. And we're doing that instead. And then we set payload, Windows, interpreter, reverse TCP. So I guess they could have added a creating a handle at the same time here, but you usually would prepare this in advance, so I understand why they did it like this. It's logical. This is I'm just continue reading the text here too, so we don't miss any bits. To ensure that our payload works with the payload used when creating the malicious macro. Yeah, so we can't just listen on Netcat when we have a Meterpreter payload. It wouldn't work. So we need to put our IP, not this one. So let's just click on the wrong machine there. Oh. Let's do options first, right? So we don't need to say show options. Options is enough. So payload options. Here we can see what we need to fill in here, right? And their default is 4444. So we need to set lhost to, and then I'm just having it here so I can see the IP. So 10.21.31.111. Quite a fun IP there. So Set lhost specifies the IP number of the attacker system and should be the same as the one used when creating the document. Set port 8888, because that's what they used. Specifies the port number you're going to listen to on and should be the same as the one used when creating the document. So, we could have used 8888. You know, it doesn't matter, but we didn't, so we used set lport 443 there. And then we can do options again, and now these values should be filled in. Oh gosh, I missed the S. That's what happened. There. So now we can see we have these filled in because we entered them. And it's time to start listening for incoming connections to establish the reverse shell. So when the document is opened, we need already to be listening, or we won't receive the connection. So I have to click before I type. There, we started. So started reverse TCP handler on 10.21.31.11:443. So the only thing to make sure here is that we're not already using the port. If we were, it wouldn't be able to start. So there. Since we did it, this is just the output from running the commands. So email the malicious document. The malicious document has been created. All you need to do is to send it to the target user. It is time to send an email to the target user marta@socmas.thm. Mayor Malware has prepared the following credentials. Notice that Mayor Malware uses the domain name that looks similar to the target. So instead of SOCMAS, it says SOCNAS.thm, right? This technique is known as typo squatting, where attackers create domain names that are nearly identical to legitimate ones in order to trick victims. On the attack box, start the Firefox web browser and head to HTTP. So now we're going to use this machine we started here. And log in. We're going to use it to send the mail. So we copy this. We head over to our browser. So I haven't even full screen it. So I'm just gonna turn off burp here, or rather turn off the proxy. So yeah, that was yesterday or something. No, the day before. Or the day before. So here we can log in with the credentials. It was info at socnas.thm, and the password was Mary Fishmas. Mary Fishmas exclamation mark. So let's sign in. Once log in, compose an email to the target user and don't forget to attach the document you created. Changing the name to something more convincing, such as invoice.com or receipt.com, might be a good idea. Also, write a couple of sentences explaining that you are attaching, what you are attaching, to convince Marta Mayware to open the document. Note: You can use Ctrl H on the file upload pop-up to be able to see .msf4 directory. Oh, Ctrl H to see hidden, where your email is located. Yeah, so let's see. We have our email. So we want to create a new message, and we want to send it to Marta at sacmas.teacham, right? Important. Document. We don't have to be very. Please check. Please. Well, let's just. We're good with that, right? So we need to attach. Here, add attachment. So. So, by default, we can't see hidden ones. I never thought of that. I always do LSLA, you know. I'm not used to the graphical stuff. There. There, we can see them. That's it. That's a good learning point. We should put that in the notes. So, as I would have normally... I would have just typed it, of course, but... So, MSF4... And... Let's just look here, because we already have it open. Local. Yeah, I was thinking local. So, local... MSF4... So, the document is attached. Let's... here's the document you requested. So, let's see what they say. If they're saying anything more, you know, because sometimes they want special stuff as this is automated. I don't think there's anything more. Exploitation. If everything works out, you will get a reverse shell after about 2 minutes. So, send it quickly is the thing. So, these are always a bit funny. I think I'll have to click twice since I wasn't in the VM. So, we're expecting our... We're expecting a response to this one. So, meanwhile, let's check their stuff here. Start a reverse TCP handler. This is ours. What we did. So this is what we will receive in 2 minutes. So there. It was nicely enough faster than that. So now we're in their machine, and we're supposed to. The flag is a value inside the flag.txt located at the administrator's desktop. So let's see if we have access to that now, or if we need to do anything more. But I'm kind of assuming this is just getting the file, right? So let's see the C colon users. And let's see what's here. We have only the administrator. No, I'll have to type it all if I can't spell administrator. There. You shouldn't pause in the middle of typing something. It's not good. CD desktop. It's not case sensitive. It's Windows. So here we should have a flag. So we should be able to type the flag.txt. There. So here's our flag. So that was not a long room or a long task. There's a fishing room though. Let's look at that. So there's no more stuff to do here until 17. It's if we want to create another document or look more into these, right? So let's see if we can find the tool to explore these on Linux. So let's search for Linux explore. So what was the actual file type? Since I have it right up here, right? We can just check. Docm, right? Docm. How to open Word document file? There might be something interesting in this. Oh my goodness. So, XDG open should work on all file types. Open an appropriate. Okay. So that's not what we want. They're talking about LibreOffice. CatDoc. Yeah, so these are just user stuff, right? Let's say, yeah, I did use Explore, not Open. Yeah, it's how can I see the XML of my docx document? Let's check this out. So I know we can unzip it, you know, but there's tools to explore them without having to do the work manually, and I'm just looking for that. Let's actually do macro Hacktrex. There. Yeah, I thought so. There's also fishing files and documents. So let's see here. This was annoying. So I'm not used to seeing any ads, you know, or anything like this. So junk code. It's very common to find junk code that's never used to make the reversing of the macro more difficult. For example, your following image, you can see that it's never going to be used. Execute some junk or useless code. Macro forms. That was not a lot of information. So that's not what we were looking for. Office file analysis. This is what I'm looking for. Ah, that's nice. New experience. Page not found on Hacktrex. So let's search here instead for what was it we were clicking? Office file analysis, right? Let's skip that up too. So, office file analysis, and this. there. So it always starts with add stuff, I think, here. Forensics, summary. Microsoft has created many Office document formats with two main types being OLE formats and XML. So we're going for the modern XML ones, right? But there you see the difference between the doc and the docx. We used to use the OLE and now it's XML. These formats can include macros, making them targets for phishing and malware. And XML files are structured as zip containers. But let's see if they have any tools here. OLE VBA. So that's for the OLE ones. Didn't say much here either. Yeah, so I did Google a bit, but I had this tool. I used it and then I forgot. And I think I used it in a VM, so it's not in my history. But I'm close to just going through all of my history and seeing if I used any commands. But I think it must be a tool that's in Kali. So let's look at the Kali tools list, actually the whole list. And let's do like, what could it be? Yeah, they're actually sorted in a bit of an order here, right? There's a lot of tools. So it's not like we can just read through them. So let's start with just searching for macro, nothing like that. And doc. There's actually lots of docs. So maybe not a useful search, but it's limiting the number of things. So if we were to start at the top. Oh my. So my computer is still open and the hard drive on the floor because it's been copying files during the night. So I have a new 20 terabyte hard drive, so I'm copying in from a different hard drives into it, and then I will back up the most important data to other hard drives manually, or maybe automatically. We'll see. But I usually have my backups somewhere else than connected to the computer. So that's the first doc, of course. Documentation. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this is not a good way to do it. So when we have problems Googling, right, then we do ChatGPT. It's the new Google. So I think I already tried this though. I want to explore the contents of a docm or docx file I know there's a tool showing which parts are macros and other types of data. It can also extract the parts of the file. I think that's enough. So only tools. Yeah. Extract marks, analyzes them. So first, let's see if we have this in this list, and we don't. But OLE, now we're back to OLE, right? So it might still be called OLE, even though it's not OLE. That was the previous version, right? Of E as in enamler. Console, whole, console, enum, E as in enum, not in OLE. Yeah, so those, it's just 5 hits there. Let's just see if we do OLE VBA. Yeah, that's not there. And I have Falcali. So I think the tool that I'm thinking of the tool I'm thinking of is a Linux command line utility. And it's not zip. It's probably, it might be included in Kali. So, no, not Binwalk. Not Binwalk. It's funny how it says the tool you're looking for is likely to do it. The tool you're likely thinking of it's not like certain, but it's almost. So OLE ID. So it's not included in Kali, but that doesn't say it's not the right tool. I know I have an image in my brain of the output, what it looks like. It has a column for like M for if it's a macro. It's a bit fuzzy since it was a few months since I saw it. Detect macros. And does this work for XML? Yeah, it actually got the left and right order by mistake there. XML formatted files. No, yeah, it's for the old ones. XML lint. Only dump pie. Only dump pie. But we're still saying only. Well, only dump that pie work for the XML formatted files. Yes. No only dump here, but that doesn't say anything, so this might be it. We don't know yet. Yeah, I want you to Google this. Your little thingy. This is the bad part of it hopping up there when you're Googling, right? Program to analyze. So these links are the same. Sans Institute, quick reference. So that wasn't a lot. There's a download though. 2021. This is the tool. Here's the column with the micros. So this is what I meant. Olido. Yay, we found it. So we wanted to run this on this. Let's check also the repo, right? So see if it hasn't been updated for this long, we could download it from Sans if we want to. So it's a Python script that's kind of long. So a suit, which please no pull request for this repo flex. So this is like a big bunch of tools. Cool. XML dump py. Zip dump py. Yeah, I think I'm in love. Let's just see the date of these. As you can see, 9 years ago, something like that. Yeah, 9 years ago. So they're updated when it's needed, right? But the newer ones are newer. So 3 months ago, last week. This is an interesting one. Interesting repo. I think we can star this. And it has already 2,000 stars. And let's see what this gives us. This is odd. Yeah, so I don't open PDFs in the browser. But this is, yeah, this is the help for OliDumpy. Yeah. Very, very nice. So, And we can see here that it's this one. This is what I wanted to check. So it is the same dude. This is the real one. We don't have to read the code, in other words. And we can like trust this. I'm just gonna clone this, I think. So let's just, yeah, let's put it into our Kali, right? We want cool tools. But before we do this, so we don't lose it again, right? We don't want to lose track of this. I finally found it again. And this 11th subtract me pops up. Let's go over here. And let's make, this is yesterday's stuff. Files. I have like files here somewhere. File exploration, right? So let's do a new note called first we do only dump .py and we do exploring docx and other office files, extract stuff, find macros, and we have the link for the suit there. And let's put also the link. I'm just clicking back here for the file itself. And let's go forward. I was still gonna copy this. I think I had it copied already. Yeah, the get. Clone this repo. And for more nice tools. So this is what I have, just confirming there. Let's put this one over it. Then we're going to actually put a new one. There's lots of tools in here. There's not like in file a readme or anything with an index of them. So I'm assuming this will be on the web page, right? So his page here. Here's his page about the suit. I bundle most of my software in a zip called GitHub and GitHub registry. Some for required installation and stuff that triggers too much antivirus was not included. So updated 1st of December. So this is mostly about getting the whole bunch of stuff. But let's click my software. Here it is. Here is why, and this is the new one there that we saw was added recently. So this is the link where we want to see. Alright. I copied the wrong link. So this is the link we want. There was also a zip file. Why would you want a zip file? I don't know, but maybe. So, get the tools. Info about the tools. And my notes are, as always, public on GitHub. So, but let's send the link there probably too, right? You could do it yourselves. So, there's a blog post about them all. So, if we were to look at it. Oh. No. There, I was blind. I didn't see it because it was lowercase. So I had activated search, that's why. Oh, so it was just hopping down. Okay, let's do it again then. Here's where we want to be. But these are all the versions. I want data about it. Doesn't he have any information on it? So as we can see, it's lots of versions. There's lots of versions. That's the first version, and the last is the newest. So the best documentation we have so far on this tool, but I'm kind of assuming it has a help, right? Plugin updated, right? So we also have the sand stacks here. So if we want anything more, let's clone it now. Just copying this again, open over to the VM, and let's open a new tab so we still have this ready there. So I'm kind of thinking we'll put this in apt, right? Let's put it here. Wayback Machine Downloader. So I git clone there. Oh, we need sudo. So now we have all the thingies, but I'm kind of thinking we want these in our path, right? But some of them wanted an installation too. So what's Linux? Let's just run it for now, right? So again, we have oli-dumpy here, confirming the name, and it's in this path. So if we run now, oli-dump.py, on MSF dot document. Oh, I'll have to fix the permissions too. But for now, I don't want to do it. I just want to have the results and make sure it's actually what I wanted. Command not found. Oh. So. Never done that before. Operation not permitted. Because we're not sudo. So there. Now they're all executable. And that works. So we're getting the nice information. So let's do the try H, and we have the output here. Usage. Syntax warning. Invalid escape sequence. So H exists, but we still got a syntax warning. Interesting. So then we also had this already here, right? But I prefer text to this kind of thing. So prior to 2007, docxls files used OLE. 2. File system structure, streams data, storage, stream storages. Office 27 Plus, docx, xls x, docm, xls m. Office files and zip containers. OXML, which may include binary files. VBA macros are always stored inside OLE2 files. For OXML files, VBA macros are stored. By the way, why do I not so we can see better, right? Are stored in a VBA project bin inside a zip container. So let's check what part of the current file. So these have M's here, right? New macros, this document. So what's lower in uppercase M? Will this tell us? MM, right? We have the same here with M and M. M, VBA macro with code. M, VBA macro with attributes only. Okay, so code is uppercase M. Let me know it's code. Use the I option for first analysis. This will add counters for compressed and compiled VBA source code. S2 sample XLS. And S was select item for dumping. Oh. And then of course the L would probably be like list. It's not there. So hopping over here again. So 11:40. Now I'm very curious. So yeah, there's no L. Does it say uppercase I? Possibly. Yeah, there's no such thing either. There's a lowercase I, but that wouldn't look like this. Tip, use. It might be an old thing they've changed, updated here, but not here. So probably it's just incorporated into the base command now. So you always get that option, right? So I'm assuming that that's old, and this is that, because we already have numbers here, right? So if we want to extract this, we would do S DOM strings. Let's just read the help. This is annoying. So select is S now. Select item for dumping, right? Not strings or anything. That was confusing. Oh, uppercase S is strings and lowercase s is what we want. So what number was it? It was, let's try A3, because A, apparently there can be more, right? So this is saying Ben here. So it's inside the document. So if we were to unzip this, we would get this and then these inside there. Or maybe just this. We'll have to try that too, just to see and compare. So S, was it A3? I don't really care because I just test, right? But yeah, A3. And this will probably give us, yeah. So we would want this to be a file instead, right? Not to dump it like this, because we have to convert this. We still keep getting the syntax warning. It's probably because how we're having the path and using sudo and everything. I should fix that. So I'm like, why did I use sudo? Yeah, because I used to need to, but then I fixed something, did I? Oh, I was testing stuff. We're still getting the warning though. So if we were to run this there, so let's lslay cp msf dot document to opt dtab and yeah, I think I think I want to be able, I want to need sudo for that, right? But now we have the file here, so we can run this command. If I can manage to scroll to a good place. So we should be doing just with that, of course, but I'm curious. We're like debugging this now. We still got the same. So now I'm very curious. I guess we'll just put it in the path, you know, but this. Invalid escape sequence. So, if we were to use it, I'm thinking this could be a syntax warning about this document, right? So if we, but we got it when we did H2, right? Didn't we? Yeah, so it's nothing in the file, it's something having to do with this. I guess we just add it to the path and see if there's a difference, but I wanted to test it kind of thoroughly first. So, export path equals, and we have to add the old path. Path. That would be a big mistake. We wouldn't be able to do anything with that spelling mistake. And no spaces or anything, so nah. Oh, look what it did. That's nice of it. Look at Kali. Isn't it beautiful? Or I guess I should say seashell. It's beautiful. It just expanded that when I tabbed. I am happy. Though I still have to type the rest of this if I don't copy it. We'll try another tab, right? I'll copy that first. Let's do tab now. Yeah, I did it. So it did the first, and then it did the second too. I'm happy. I love this. So confirming export path. Our old path expanded and nice, and our new path that we're adding with a colon just as the others are. So that should work and not problems. Yeah, let's just do it. So, and now we should be able to run that. And also here. I really should just type OLE dump .py H, right? This is the shortest command. Did I type it correctly? Now I have to know. Yeah. So this shell hasn't got the new one. That's why. So if we do this and do OLE dump .py command not found. So let's let's just open a fully new one. And let's do woolly dump. Not pie. Command not found. So, why? Did I do something wrong? So, just testing that stuff works as it should. Whatever. I'm too tired for this. I'm kind of thinking, let's CD something here. Let's CD just here and do only dump. Fine. And we have command not found, and then we CD into no. Oh, this is the one with the local. I went into the wrong one. So this is where only dump.py exists. We just get the error.
Tyrone Slug says, "Good morning. How
Good
are you
morning.
doing? Been lurking while working in on my morning call with work."
Okay. Welcome in. Yeah, so I'm good except for we just found a cool tools here. Did you receive in suits? And I was searching for, since today's Try Hack Me Advent of Cyber was on the theme of a duck macro. So I thought I knew there exists this tool to look at them, and I finally found it. Only dump.py, and we found where it's actually this dude that made it is hosting it together with a lot of other tools. So I'm thinking these look kind of cool. And there's also a this is kind of like, it's a good thing, right? We can trust this repo. We can close that one, and though he doesn't seem to have any more information than the help from the file, which is good enough. But they had this little document here that we can look at more. But I remember the syntax, the output, and this is the one I was using before a few months ago, I'm thinking. And I was looking for it before, but I didn't find it, but now we found it, so I'm happy. So this, I tried to get ChatGPT to understand it, and finally it suggested this after a few other tries. That's nice. Yeah, so we can close that. We were looking at Kali tools. I was trying that. We were really looking for this thing. So this is in my notes now. We've updated. So we have a woolly dump here. Then it had also other tools. There was zip dump, there was lots of things. So I'd like to explore these more. Though my path didn't really work. Let's look at actual path, right? So let's open a new one. First, let's actually close this one.
I'm just getting ready to run a sync of 7.4 terabytes of data.
Oh, you know what I'm doing? In the background, I'm actually copying stuff to my new hard drive. Check the size of this one. That's nice. So I can have all of my stuff in one place and take backup of what's important, you know? So I haven't been able to record my own streams for a long time, right? And now I can again, because it takes so much space. And if I want to, for example,
nice. Yeah,
record my camera
so boring
separate. Yeah, I understand. But automating is fun there. You can always automate it. You know, the RoboCopy scripts I've been running during nights for work long ago. It's actually, it used to be the best. I think it might still be kind of good. It's like if you want permissions, how to act on different, if X files are different ages and stuff, you know?
This is copying from a live server to a test server, so I can run some tests on it without breaking live service.
Okay, so it's just waiting for the copy. You can't just have lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy I found this one. Nice. Though we still have to like explore all the tools, but we did find this list here, so
Yeah, I can just have lunch and also watch Twitch.
yeah. Or maybe it's just a good reason not to have to do other work while you're watching Twitch. I'm waiting for this copy. I have to sit here. I have to do some other stuff, not to get too bored, right? So this was the today's box here.
Very true.
So should I click the X instead of typing exit 4 times? So all new one, all others are closed. So OLED and Pi. So let's look at path. There. By the way, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think of that there's a lowercase path too. I was mostly surprised that I got a result. I don't think I know enough about Linux, apparently. But we don't have it there, right? So I failed adding stuff to the path. Permanently. I did export, but I would have need something else. Let's add to Linux path permanently. Look here. See.
I had the export too. Profile on my home dir.
Yeah. But isn't there a command to do it? I think I've done that before. Well, you could always, you know, this isn't a command. This is adding it to the profile. Yeah, I guess I should have copied, but it's still in the history, the export command, so I guess we'll just put it. Also, do you know how to increase the history? Because I've been thinking about doing that. I know it's in there. I'm just thinking of the best way. I would like to really have an infinite history. I don't want anything to disappear. I want to have all my history. And it keeps overriding. So when I'm like, oh, I use this command, it's just gone, you know? If you happen to like paste some output into your history, it's just gone. I think it's 1,000 by default. So let's look into that. As we're still by the way, first let's get my command.
My lifeline.
Yeah, so the history, we want the history. Yeah, and this was so nice because I didn't type this, you know. What I did was I typed the $path $opt D, and then I tabbed to get the name expansion. Then it expanded the variable path. And then I tabbed again and it expanded up to your Steven suits. So I'm so happy with the seashell. I'm really happy with it. I love it. His file size. Yeah. But you still have to set a number. I want like the infinity symbol there. Let's copy this. So we have this ready. -1. Because I was Googling it before, not today, long ago. And I think I got like, this is a complex thing, you should probably not do this, you know? Whatever. If it's just -1, I don't want it to delete my history. By the way, so I have backups of my history. So probably should make a new one before I play with it, in case I were having to set it to nothing. So we also have a bash history. So let's cp.c. Oh, there. There, 2.c. History, and the others are call underscore. Oops. 2024. Do I know today's date? It's 11 still, right? So I only slept for like 5 hours. So it was 11th yesterday too. So I had to get my kids up, and I was watching a stream yesterday, doing some stuff. So I actually put some stuff on YouTube. Let's see if it's uploaded, because it's kind of nice to use time, as this is just file copying, right? So day 1, 2, and 3 on the YouTube, and then I'm exporting the normal streams before they like die. So the last one I did, making it simple cybersecurity. So this one, there's similar names, just one double check. So this is the next one. Let's just export this one. You can work on it. It takes so much time, but this is a short one, right? Yeah, it's a short stream. So So. Of course, I shouldn't use expanded version. Should I just add the normal command, right? But let's do this first. I remember the date correctly. So we have a backup of my history before I mess it up, if I do. So, what files are actually used now? So let's actually do ChatGPT again. Because I don't feel confident enough to know exactly what files are used when I'm using different shells and which are not used. What file would I add? A path export to make it work for all my shells. I'm shells. Let's just do Inikali. Right? I don't want it just to work for C shell or bash or whatever. So ets profile. Yeah, so bash profile is.
Yeah, there are so many places you can add it.
Yeah.
Bash profile.
Yeah.
Profile. And summon slash etc. too.
Yeah, ets profile and home profile. So we definitely don't want bash profile. It's like, you know, mumbling a bit here. System-wide for all users. That's probably where I want it, really, because this is a path for tools, and I might want it as root, right? So this one is probably for ets profile. I think we can trust it on this basic, even if it's saying this here. If you're using multiple shell types, also up to appropriate. Yeah, so so the profile and ets profile are probably so. Also, don't mention shell specific files, only general ones. Oh, we got a Swedish ä in there. Also, I misspelled mention, it will understand. So let's zoom in first. This is what we want. And now let's also I want to set my history, the history, for all users to well, I don't care about how I formulate this, right? I will understand. To infinite. If or very high.
Fixerbot says.
Thanks for
New
the follow.
Lala. Less than
Lala,
3.
welcome in. So, yeah. Following line for system-wide settings. Yeah, so we want system-wide settings. And then it's going back. It doesn't remember this. This change will apply to all users. Yeah, so no infinite option. So you said -1, we'll try it. And if it's nothing, there's no true infinite option, but you can approximate, such as in money shell. However, this could lead to performance or disk space issues.
Is one for number of lines, and one for size of the file in bytes or something?
Yeah, let's ask this. What's the difference between hist size and hist file size? Please define. The number of commands stored in the in-memory command history for the current shell session. Once the shell is closed, commands exceeding the size are discarded. Specifies the maximum number of commands stored in the history file. So this doesn't have anything to do with the history file. So more commands on this will not be stored in the history file, I'm assuming then. So if you were to like paste by mistake 1,000,000 lines into your command prompt, it wouldn't be put in the history. That kind of thing, maybe? So maybe this one should have like a limit. As long as you're not never closing down your terminal. So hist file size is a file, and this is the in-memory storage. And our free plan limit was reached. So let's just... It will get a lot dumber at this stage. And have more errors, so... But we're probably done with that, because... in an hour, I'm gonna go drive my kid to school, so I'm going to go check with him if he wants any food, and then I might have to stop. We'll see. Rather if it's eaten. Yes, gubben. Det är dags att gå. So I made spaghetti and meat sauce yesterday, so I asked if you wanted that, and I'll just go heat it, plate up. It's 3 minutes. I'll be back in 3 minutes and we continue and actually do the things. So, so the question is, should we try the -1, right? So we have like a bit less than an hour left. So this seems too little, but I guess it's a lot. So it kind of confirmed what I thought I knew, which also means I don't feel I need to double check it, right? Because otherwise I might have Googled too, since it's a kind of big thing to do. So we have dot profile. We're not changing C profile or batch because I don't want them to. We're instead going to etc, and I don't think we'll isolate everything, but we can do P star, right? I definitely failed. P star size customize. There's possibly nothing, but I think it's mostly that I failed for some reason. So here we have a profile. So let's just nano profile and see what it looks like. System-wide dot profile. Here we also have a confirmation, but here it says for the Bourne shell, right? And that's not really what we want. So this is for Bourne shell, but I'm thinking, yeah, Bourne compatible shells. So we also have let's assume that this also works for C shell. I'm assuming it's compatible because it is, right? So if IDU else, and I'm kind of thinking instead of adding here, let's add like a this is our added stuff section. But let's look for, I don't know how to search in this, if they're even the history would still, if we set values for the history here, they would be overridden, right? So we couldn't do that, but we could set a path here. So path is possible here. And do I still have it in my paste? Yeah, but it's not the version we want. Let's instead do path, because we want this to be able to change. We don't want to set this for all the things to only be this and to be this. So some of that was probably not added in this file anyway.
My channel got bot followed the other day by over 300 accounts. Now today it's gone back down by 18 follows.
Oh, okay. So maybe those accounts were removed then, the 18. So is that good or bad? That's the question, right? So follows are nice, but bot follows...
Twitch are probably banning them, yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think of it? Was it good or bad?
Yeah, it's good, I think. No need to have bot follows.
Yeah, I mean, good that they were Is it good or bad that they're following? It's good that they're being banned, of course. That's good. I need to eat some stuff here too. I got some salad that we got with the pizza. One of these. But I might actually not eat more than the... I might just eat a salad and then I might get some sushi when my kid's in school or something. I'm not still
I had
up...
chocolate for breakfast. I'll get some sarnies soon.
Okay. Yeah, so... I'm not really up for running or anything yet. My shoulder is still not perfect, so... that's really why I should eat a lot, right? Because I should take those anti-inflammatory pills for my shoulder inflammation. So we have export path. Oh my god, that wouldn't work well. Let's add a path too. So we're taking the current path, which was just up there, and we're adding this directory to the path. And then we're exporting it too. So it will be in all of them. And while we're here, right, let's just check what we're actually doing. So, profile D. Yeah, let's just... I'm curious about the orders the files are run in. But this should be first, right?
Maybe
Games
put
and
around the part
stuff.
after the equals, in case any paths have a space in them, which they shouldn't.
Oh, right. What do you mean here?
Like it is at the top of the file. Yeah, there.
So have this like that. Yeah, because the equals, if there was a path, it wouldn't work. If it was a space, it wouldn't work. But this is what is there, so it shouldn't be a space. But it's a nice thing to add.
Shouldn't smile, smile.
Shouldn't. Yeah. You never know what programs do when they install stuff, right? That you approve. So I pasted the path. It should be the right name of the directory. And what? I did Control S. Permission denied. Alright. Okay. So I always Control SX when I exit Nano, so I'm not getting any questions right now. So
we updated Python on a few VMS yesterday, and Yum removed the symlink between /user/bin/python and /user/bin/python2. So yeah, you never know what things happen.
oh yeah. But if it sent it to Python 3 instead, that's what I have. Or that's what Kali has, actually. So we'll need to sudo this, of course. So I don't know why I didn't do that.
Yeah, we use v2 still for some things.
Yeah, but it's like the normal thing now is 3. I mean, so you can type add 2, but I guess for things they don't know about 3, they will say Python, right? Well. It's a hard choice. So let's add the line back in. There. Now we Control SX and it works. And let's go back to home. There. So it's just me Didn't I click it already? No. Apparently not. So we have the profile. So let's nano the profile. And let's look here. This file is not read by bash if bash profile or bash login exists. So I don't think I have a bash profile, no. But I have a C profile. So C is that's the most important one for me. The history, right? So most thing I do in C shell. So let's just check. This doesn't contain anything of this. So let's check the C profile. And
200 gig of the 7 TB copied.
oh gosh, that's slow. What are you doing? That's slow. Well, I guess it's not that slow. Let's see how mine is doing. So mine is 73%. Yeah, but this is probably tiny files too. Though currently it's doing streams. So this is while I could still record the streams. 2024. Yeah, this is before I started uploading to YouTube too. So these are the only copies I have. Now YouTube is my backup. That's why I'm doing the uploads to YouTube. That's the primary reason. Then people have started watching them too. So, yeah. So, old downloads.
What is it you're doing with those files?
Backups. I'm just
Were you
putting
copying them to another HT?
yeah. So just to another hard drive. This is my new 20 terabyte hard drive. So it's not. It doesn't have any RAID or anything, but it's. I'll take backup of the stuff, and I'm copying. I'm not moving stuff there, because it was sent to me in a tight cardboard box, and I'm like, do I trust the post office? So let's copy a lot of stuff there. Let's use some files. Let's test stuff. But do I still can't trust it? I don't know. Run some tests on the drive later when it's actually being used. Kind of fill it up with data first. See if it can do stuff still. I think you should be kind of starting right now. It's an let's see. Exos. That's a Seagate Exos 20 terabyte. X20. So I was choosing between this one and a 16 terabyte drive that had data recovery like insurance in it, warranty. So I was like, well, it's not like I'm not gonna use this drive for more than what was the warranty, 5 years anyway. So if it breaks at the start, I'm assuming that they'll still at least give me a new drive. Anyway, it's nice to not have to feel like this. Let's open this, and you'll see why. This is a new one. It's already starting to fill up. So yesterday I copied the contents of this one here, and now we're doing the next one. So one of them is not red. We also have spare drives for our. This is a RAID 5, the QNAP. So we should put those new, bigger drives in. Oh my god, sorry. Yeah. There's a command, right? For switching screens, I think so.
Wow, all that
Sorry. Yeah, so it's so much red here. This is why.
Ads.
Yeah. Anyway. So my C drive is 14 gigs. There's 5 gigs here. Yeah. I needed a new hard drive. I needed it. Let's say I needed it, right? Local bin. By Pipex, okay. So this means I don't have a profile that overwrites the main one. In which file is usually set and what's the default values? Let's see if we can still answer stuff. Following files. Bash RC. So, what about where is the default? Like in Kali. I don't think my history is 2000. I think it's just 1000. It's so tiny. Maybe it's 2000. We can check. Yeah, it's 1000. Yeah, I agree with this. See, let's check these files, right? So, though we have a C profile, not I don't think we have a C, maybe we have a CSH or C. We do. So, we didn't check bash RC either. Let's check this one. Well, it was still there. So it's much easier than to cat it.
Just checked my history on my laptop. 11,861 lines.
Oh
Started
gosh.
On June 30th, 2023.
That's nice. That's nice. So mine, I just confirmed here with ChatGPT. So it said that this is 2000, but Kali only have 1000 lines history. So I don't know why. If that's supposed to be a security feature. But it's annoying. That's why we need to change it. So we're currently checking the local CSA RC file.
I don't remember upping it. Maybe it's default and
So,
Ubuntu to be bigger.
hist file, hist size, save hist. So here we have a new one. Save hist too. history 0 to complete history. So all the paths combined, you know, there are so many. And this one was actually also added to the dot profile by Pipex too. That was the only thing in there. In the C profile. So that's even more confusing, that it's both files are for C shell, right? So the files are not created by Kali itself, but from, well, this was just added. The other file was only that in it, so yeah, let's actually have all the files up at the same time, right?
Arduku says, in Nano you can interact with Ctrl+W.
Yeah, thanks. So let's see, we have, let's just go down there and let's open a new one. So we're comparing the different places to put history size, and they're also different variable names, right? So bash uses hist size and hist file size, while apparently C shell uses hist size and save hist that we just saw in the file too. So it's not like, I'm thinking I want to set this system wide, right? If I can. But if it's overridden in a file that's run later, like lower, I guess I'll just have to, we don't have to dig into this anymore. So I don't really care about the bash history, right? It's the C shell. I want this one that we already had up. So if we change this one, so I'll be so happy by just adding 1 0 here, right? So for this one, current session, right? Stored in memory for the session. We don't want more than 10,000 commands. Then we pasted 1 million something by mistake. So, but how many do we want in the saved history? Will -1 work, right? That was our test. We just saved the history just for this reason. So,
Slug says, as long as you know who any other users that use the box, you'll be okay. If it was used by people you don't know what they do, you would probably want to limit it more, right?
Yeah, this is just me using root and the Kali, right? So I just wanted it for the root one too. So that was like all users. So let's just save this and see if it will kill our history. So let's just bye that and let's open a new one. And let's do history. And we still have history. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And let's exit this and open a new one. And we still have history, but we don't have those.
Insufficient Brad says, hello, good afternoon. Tyrone Slug says, my history includes the date and time, smile smile.
So I don't think anything has been added to the history. This is a test. Now history is in the history, and this is a test is in the history. And I'm closing this now. And we're opening a new one. And we're doing history, or rather just arrow up. You see, nothing is saved, so -1 seemed to have, like... It didn't empty the file, but it, like, broke the functionality. It's not putting anything there. So... The last thing we did, we knew at least. So unfortunately...
With the X might be doing that.
I did exit last time.
Try doing it, but doing exit.
Yeah, yeah.
Brad says.
I did exit.
I haven't seen Linux in a while. Is that Debian distribution?
Yeah, it's Kali, so it's Debian.
Oh, okay.
So first I closed both windows with the X, and then I did exit, because exit is like what I always do. And also, you're always sure you close the right window then, right? So -1 didn't work. Let's try leaving it empty, right? What will leaving it empty do? So let's this is another test. Blah. I don't care what it is. Like, this is in our history. History. We can see we have that in our history. And also history is in the history, right? So let's exit it now. Let's click that. Let's do history. And I could see there it said history grep Python, right? So obviously it didn't work again. So we'll have to put a value. So what would be the maximum value? Let's ask ChatGPT. What would be the maximum value for save hist? So very large number, such as 1 million. Yeah, so I don't want to know this. I don't care about this. What is the maximum value? There are limitations. Variables, data. Well, let's just storage for this. Whatever, it will understand. I don't care about spelling it wrong. So, technically constrained by system limit, but there isn't a hard limit. Yeah, I don't care about the SSH limit. My God. It doesn't care what I say. I don't care about this. You shouldn't do this was specific enough. I should have said I don't care about the file size. I should have said.
TB of history. That would be nice. Smile.
Yeah. Well, we do have 20 TB drives, so whatever, right? You could theoretically say yeah. Let's do a crazy big one. Performance issues. Yeah. So how often does it use? So C shell uses the history when you just type, right? So we don't want it to be crazy long. So maybe we just do. So I've lived with 2000 for over a year.
Insufficient, Brad says. Fix it, but isn't history saved into a file? I know there is a parameter hist file.
Yeah, so the thing is that in C shell it's called save hist. But let's scroll up here. So bash has hist size and hist file size, and hist size is the history in the current shell in memory. That's the maximum for that, and this is the file size. But for, we saw this in the file too. When I asked about C shell, let's see, wherever it's save hist, the other variable, the second one, the file size. So it's just a variable name that's different. So I was just thinking, is there a maximum value? There doesn't seem to be one more than the like physical limitations of memory and hard drive, right? So what do you think we should set it as? Is 1,000,000 crazy much? Is 1,000,000 crazy? It was kind of at the top, right? I should search, as you said. Here it is. So we tried putting nothing there on purpose. We tried -1. Just to see if we could set it to no limit, right? But it didn't work. We didn't get any history added when we had that. But also the history file was not deleted, which is also good to know. And we just added a 0 to this one. We don't want more than 10,000 in our current shell in memory, because if we happen to paste like 1,000,000 lines, we don't want that, right? Maybe even 1,000 is good. Let's do 5,000 or 3,000. So we don't type more than 3,000 lines before we make a new shell, right? So 10,000 is the like 5 times what we have. 100,000 will last me a few months, definitely, right? If we put 1,000,000, then we might have to like deal with slowing down. So I'm thinking it could handle 100,000 lines. I don't think I'll reach it, but what I've done before is actually to make a sort of the history and unique, so you don't have double entries, right? So you could actually like, though it's nice to have them in order too, but if you're getting it really
I
big.
asked CPT about that param, and it told me it takes integer value. So as I remember, int can get as much as 2,147,483,647. GPT.
It depends on what integer it is. And I'm thinking, as this is saved in the system as a system variable here, so it will have to fit in that, of course. But maybe it's text. If it's a text string, it can be like infinite. But then it will have to fit in whatever variable is loaded into when it's like in the system. And that's what I was trying to find out, but apparently I didn't have the right words here. I wasn't explaining it good enough for ChatGPT to find and understand. Yeah. But this one says that I could put it to 1,000,000,000, right? So the value should be able to be more than 1,000,000,000. Setting a few million is generally safe. Yeah, so I don't think I will ever get to 1,000,000. So I will probably reinstall my VM, right? At some point. Maybe I don't update for long enough and it crashes when you update it. That happens. And if it's a VM, you know, you don't have to mess around, you just install it. Let's do 100,000. You realize I had 2,000 here now before.
Yeah, and chat is right until you tell it it's wrong. Then it's sorry and give you another answer. But how can you tell if that one is true? Smile, smile.
So we did test here with -1 and nothing, and that didn't work, right? So, but we generally double test stuff. So if history works after saving this now, and it keeps saving stuff again, so this is a test, right? Let's spell this correctly, as this will end up in the history. So I didn't spell it right. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did spell it right. It just didn't know that. So our history currently here is this, And let's exit the shell. And let's go back. And let's do history again. Or rather, arrow up. Yeah, so I think I broke it. History isn't saved again. I broke my poor computer. Oh. So it might not work with 100,000 either. It might be... So I did Google this before, as I said, when I started looking at this, and there seem to be more complicated steps involved. And this kind of points in that direction. We could just... Let's make it a tiny bit tinier, right? So if we just change it to, instead of 100,000, let's say 20,000, right? And let's just restart Kali and make sure that we have a working system again with history that actually saves. And we only did one more thing. We added it as profile, we added a path addition. So I export the path plus a new bit, which was the program installed. And that's how we ended up in this theme. So I have to remember that in 15 minutes I'm going to drive my kid to school. So let's just... There. What do you think? This means it remembers that we did history, meaning it added stuff. That's good. So it's adding stuff to history again. And I'm sure it still works if we do this. So another history should be put in the list, just to confirm with X as not saving history. So we have history. No, we don't. 1, 2, 3. History. There. And let's exit this time. And let's do this. And
what's your goal here?
History.
History in between terminal instances.
The goal is to increase the history size from 2,000 lines to currently then 20,000, but I want it like infinite really. And when we did 100,000, I'm not sure it worked. So now we're testing 20,000. It should be enough for a few months, right? But maybe for a few months, I don't know. So we were doing OLE DOM parent. This is what we installed. It's kind of nice to be able to see what you would do in, right? And definitely, when you start typing a command in Kali, you want this to happen, right? And this is why we know also that it's always keeping track of the history. It's comparing to this. We don't want a million entries to compare it as soon as we type a character, right? So if I do this now, or I just by mistake click the right letter, so it always, it's constantly comparing.
File wouldn't be a solution. You need just to read it or to have it boot up arrow key in the history on the terminal, right?
Yeah, it's nothing. We just want to configure the history setting, and we have it right here. So here in CSHRC, this is where the system has put it, and we can just change the value here. So, but when I put it higher, let's add a 0 here now. So I'm kind of good with 100,000 actually, because I don't think it will. We'll see. We'll see, right? So if I save that. And let's do 4, 5, 6 and exit. And let's open it again. And we go up. We have 4, 5, 6 in the history. We don't even have to run the history command. We can see that it works, right? Now let's do 7, 8, 9 just to test. Will it save history when we X? Because this is nice to know. I usually do exit, but it's not odd to do. It should save the history, right? Yeah, so we have 7, 8, 9 in there too. And history is working as it should. We don't have like a empty variable or -1, so now it's working. So I think we like achieved the goal, and hopefully let's do history, by the way, because it would have thrown out 32 lines from here, right? But it hasn't. So we can see more history now. So I can see these lines would have been bye-byed, right? So
Write a loop for 100,001 to test it. Smile, smile.
we could. But I don't think I will. I want my history still, right? Though I did save it before we started, just to make sure. So no. No, that's for directory. So no, it should work. I don't know. So no, it's because of its C. So .c. So there. I have my backups. So that's about the size of the files when we have 1,000. So imagine 100 times less than. We're still in reasonable amounts, right? That should be the maximum file size we get. Yeah. And of course, depending on the length of the lines, it could be a tiny bit bigger. Well, should we do anything else? Or is it time for me to find someone to raid? There's really no one online. Oh. He just went online. It'll be morning there, early. Or we raid someone new. I raided him the other day. So there's really just... Let's just toggle a bit online from the people here. Let's, I guess... What do you think? Do you have any raid suggestion? Should we go for age? We can do that. So I'm gonna have to drive my kid to school. And I'll be home at about 16. And then 17, or no, maybe 18, right? I think the...
I am into a trading. I am writing an automated bots for Forex market. Up to now I was writing it using that stupid MQL language, but I'm a C# developer. Can you imagine my excitement when I found a broker that works on C-Trader platform where you can code bots in C#? Now I feel excited. Smile, smile.
Okay, nice. A real language instead of some crazy... Yeah. That sounds nice. Anything else we should do before we have like 10 minutes if we want to, right?
Yeah,
I think.
the real one. Gold C# lol.
Yeah, yesterday I was watching a stream, not to mention any names, but doing bash and getting like the tiny syntax errors and stuff instead of making a Python script. And I was like, why not try Python for 15 minutes? But it's nice to know bash too, but it's not a real language. It's the scripting, like, it's really just expanding commands a bit, right? It's not like Python is an OP language. It's so much nicer.
Have you... Smile, smile. Shut up.
Have I
Sus.
what?
Commenting to see my comment infinite times.
Do that. Comment a lot now. You can see your comments
Instant Brad.
double infinite
Have
times.
you
even.
tried Python?
Yeah, I like Python. I like real languages. So I did Bash yesterday. Let's see if we have still got the... For some reason, my menu didn't want to pop up, so... let's see, notes. So, yesterday, I did this. So, and I was like, so I really would like to do this in Python, but let's force myself to do Bash instead, right? But I would like to get more input.
Was there a white rabbit at the end of that infinite loop tunnel? Kappa.
Probably right. So you can see the I broke the infinite ones, and I'm supposed to do something fun that we can see move through the infinite mirrors, right? Oh, the timing was great. I'm sending it on to the tinier me all the way. Yeah, so let's type. So we have Black at Knock is really nothing. It's just
Try to lower
watching
the
people
delay.
on the
It would
screen.
be funnier, smile, smile.
Yeah, that's a Twitch lag. I can't do much about it. So we have Age, which is a cybersecurity guy, but he streams music, and he's great at the bass. So he's playing bass to music. We can listen to a bit of music. Then we have Togglebait who does Rust, and I'm like, Rust. Yeah, I should learn that, you know? And then there's, I don't know who this is really. Working on a game, yeah. And this is actually a music streamer who's playing a game, okay. So then we have two of these just watching animals. So there's a study time is just a work stream. So let's just raid Age, right? Even though I just did. I guess I'll have to type. I almost tabbed there, but it doesn't work, unfortunately. So they should add that. If you type the name of a Twitch streamer and you tab, right? That would be nice. So let's raid Age, and let's give him less of a laugh. And cyber security dude that does. Please be sweet. So tomorrow, of course, I'll do the next one. We also have this router that we looking into.
The stream fix it. Kept me company while waiting for my resync.
Yeah, I hope it's done now. We have to look into this more, see if we can get some firmware of this. And
Gig done.
oh, so you're just at the start of it. You'll have to I have to listen to some of Age's music here.
It's an overnight thing.
Yeah. So over weekend is a good thing too, to do those kind of things. It's just done when you get back. Yeah. So what else do we have? We're gonna have to do more cool stuff at least. So if you're not in the Discord, hop
Have a
into
good
the
rest of your
Discord.
day.
So hop into the Discord. I'm gonna do more stuff there, and also I just started yesterday to type what I did today. So we talked about this on stream, but now it's going rating. So bye. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks.